All right, I'm Alex Dobie with Android Central. This is Matt Brown from Windows
Hi,
Central. We have a tragic tale to tell you today. Matt, what happened to your 5-day-old Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus?
Well, I put it down on a wall just over there, and it decided to slide off. So
as glass sometimes will.
Yeah, so I have managed to crack, well, 2 corners of the phone, and I've got a hairline down the middle now. So
I mean, this is a pretty impressive break, and this is probably the worst nightmare of anyone buying a new phone, that within days you would not to rub it in too much, but yeah, it's broken good across the entire diagonal of the phone. It's hit one side, it's splintered all the way across. The infinity display is now infinitely broken. And it's even taken a little bit of a chunk out of the metal trim of it as well. To the point where you can actually see maybe a little bit of PCB or something below it. It is thoroughly destroyed.
Makes me so sad.
It does, yeah. So I mean, let's talk about the kind of drop that it actually was, because it's not unusual that within the span of 2 or 3 years you would probably pick up a few knocks and scrapes, but within days that is probably bad luck. I mean, he's using a new phone, you're adjusting to the grip of it in your hand. We should mention where we were putting it on a wall, taking pictures of it. That's not something that you might normally do, but if you're getting used to a new device, then ordinarily you would just find yourself maybe fumbling with it a little bit, especially something as slippery as an S8 Plus.
In the end, I think it fell directly face down, but maybe bounced on one of the corners slightly, because it's managed to destroy.
So it looks like that sort of lower left corner has taken the brunt of it, and then it sort of bounced and hit the top one there. And of course, if you look at the front shape of the S8 Plus, or even the S8 or the S7 before it, it's curved on those corners. So there is exposed glass at the points at which it would naturally hit any surface on impact. You were using Samsung's official case at the time, but obviously that doesn't cover those points, and it's prone to, with any kind of impact, popping off anyway. What's kind of interesting to me is that the back has basically survived unscathed. I guess thanks in part to that official Samsung case.
It's not the strongest case, because these clear cases are literally just like plastic outer casing, but it does kind of highlight that with this new design that Samsung has taken, there are weaknesses now, and even though you probably could have done this on other phones, I mean, it's something like with this kind of design. Some
context for this wall drop that we're talking about. It is, I think, maybe a 3-foot wall, 3.5 foot, something like that. But it's off there onto concrete, so a drop on concrete, all bets are off. So it's unfortunate. It's one of those things that you never like to see in a brand new phone, but there are options when it comes to actually replacing it, aren't there?
So luckily I paid out for Samsung Mobile Care, so I am technically covered. But for someone who had bought this phone and done this without any kind of protection, you
need an entire screen replacement. You've got to go to a Samsung store, Samsung Care Center or whatever. And I don't think they actually have prices in for the new screens yet, because it's such a new phone. But last year, I think for the S7 when it first came out, you're looking about £300. So not a cheap repair. And so this phone looks more or less completely destroyed, especially if you look at that corner there. You can see like bits of innards poking out, basically. It still does work though, right? I mean, you still could feasibly use this if you didn't care about maybe getting glass stuck in your hand.
I've used this for a few hours since, and it seems like the edge display is completely unaffected, and the only problem is that sometimes when you're moving, because of how the crack is, I can move my nail, for example, across the screen, and I can feel the actual crack. But in terms of actual functionality, it's managed to survive pretty well. I'm wondering how this crack will continue to spread over time if I didn't get this replaced. Because that is a valid concern based on how chipped it is in one corner. You got to imagine that is just going to chip away. You're going to end up with broken glass in your pocket, something like that. So I mean, it is kind of interesting to look at that and see how certain cases protect it and certain cases don't. There are a lot of different cases available. One of the weird things with this phone in particular, I think, is that tempered glass screen protectors are usually useful, but with this, because of the curved screen, they're not really ideal, because they don't really bond to the surface of the curve very well. You can use plastic screen protectors, but then would you really want to on a phone as beautiful as this? So it's a tricky situation when you're protecting a phone that is as fragile as this, but also as good looking as an S8 Plus. And the thing is, I've never actually cracked a screen in my life on a phone. and this is my first phone I've ever cracked the screen on. I have used screen protectors before, and this is just unlucky.
So when you came through and showed me this, I had a minor, almost heart attack, thinking, because I wasn't sure we have the same color of S8 Plus.
Yeah.
So for a split second, I thought you'd broken mine, but I have my unbroken S8 Plus right here.
Yeah.
We'll show you, and so yeah, this is something that I'm thinking about. You know, I'm not normally the kind of person that uses cases on a phone, just because I change phones so frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm thinking about now, even though I've been pretty fortunate with not smashing phones as well.
Yeah.
So it's it is a tragic thing to see, but there are ways around it. You have the repair route, you have the insurance route, and obviously cases to stop it happening in the first place.
Yeah.
So there we go, our very first Mobile Nation's broken Samsung Galaxy S8
very
Plus.
sad video. What a funeral tonight.
A dubious honor if ever there was one. But there you go, a smashed Galaxy S8 there for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this doesn't happen to you. We'll see you next time.